Well, everybody, welcome to a new episode of Finding the Middle. It is Wednesday, which means that we're going to be talking about comics since it's a new comic book day. So, there's actually quite a few things that we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about the comics that came out today. I'm also going to talk about some comics that I bought last week that I didn't get a chance to show you guys. And then I'm also going to talk about some Invincible news since the new season is coming out and there's a few things going on with the Invincible IP. So, to start, let's just show you the stack that I got today at my local comic book shop, which is this right here. Believe it or not, this is a stack. It's a really, actually, this is not from this week's stack, but like this is a heavy stack. A few titles, most of them are Marvel, but I'm going to show you anyways. So I got this. This is not a new comic. I think it's been I think it's been there for like 3 weeks maybe. But it's basically Siren's Love Hurts #1. I saw it and I thought it looked very animated, very nice, kind of a funny girly animation. I kind of like this. It's very cartoonish. So if you look at the art, you'll see what I mean by being kind of cartoonish and then also very appealing to girls. Like they have a lot of makeup, a lot of stuff. They really look nice, you know? So whoever did the art on this one, I hope that they continue to have them for the rest of the run because it kind of sets a presence. And I like this for this particular comic because it looks fun. Like when I opened the comic book before I made my decision, I looked at the cover and I was like, yes, I like this cover. Let me open it and see how the interior looks. And it looks like a fun comic to read. Definitely, I am very interested. Look at this. There's Batman right here doing his stuff with Catwoman. So, very excited to read this just because it looks fun. If it does look really fun, then I will probably continue to read this down the line. And here you see Black Canary and Oliver Queen talking. Very nice. Very cool. Well, but yeah, anyways, one of the titles that came out today, and it's actually a #1, is The Punisher, to which I got 2 covers. I got the Marvel Rivals cover, and then I got the regular cover. For anybody who doesn't know, I do collect a lot of Marvel Rivals covers, especially in comic books and stuff like that. I have a full box dedicated to the Marvel Rivals as they go. So that's, for me, it's super cool having this different covers. I think that from the first few that came out, the only ones that I'm missing is the Venom one, Spidey, and Storm, and the Magic one. So those 4 I'm missing. Hopefully one day I get to obtain them. But when I went to look at them through the internet, the prices were insane. Like you could try and get Marvel Rivals covers and they were like $80 for like a freaking variant that was out of a comic book that didn't even like matter. But since Marvel Rivals was very popular back then, and it was just starting, the value of it just increased and it was just crazy. But anyways, this Punisher is actually a continuation of the Red Band Punisher that I was reading previously, and the Red Band was really good. So for some reason, they just decided to do, okay, we're going to continue the story, but we're going to continue it on an ongoing series that is not a Red Band. I wonder if it's just for sales purposes, like having Punisher in Red Band. I guess maybe it sells less than regular ongoing issue that is not a Red Band. I really don't know how comics work in that aspect because I thought that the Red Band Punisher was very good because there was a lot of blood in there. This is still violent. Don't get me wrong. It's just the Red Band, it's a little bit more gory. They're not afraid of splashing people's brains out, which is really fun and very not actual. It's not typical of Marvel of doing comics that are very bloody. I mean, the Daredevil one that they did for Elektra, it was very, because it had Muse, so it got pretty high, really kind of topped the violence in there because like Muse is using body parts and all this stuff to create his art. So that one was it was pretty graphic. But definitely the Punisher so far has been my favorite Red Band that I've read so far, and I'll probably keep that Punisher for a long time in my life. It's not something that I'm planning to get rid of, just because it's the first red band that I'm actually like, wow, I really liked this, you know? But yeah, so I got the Punisher. Then I also got Inglorious X-Men #2, and I got 2 covers of those also. Let me show it. So here it is. So I got 2 covers of the Inglorious X-Force, and it was the regular cover that I got, cover A, and cover B. I mean, no, this is not B actually, but this is a variant cover that I got. And the reason why I got it is because I really liked how Domino looked. Like, I had pre-ordered this one, but I kind of stopped getting into variants because my money was getting out there with no returns. So, like, I was spending a lot of money in variants, and I was like, I'm just going to go with the cover A. And then if I do like something that is in the shelf, then I will grab it. And that's literally how I got to this one. So far, so good. I read Inglorious X-Force #1, and I liked it a lot because it's a different team. So you have Cable. Well, basically, Cable is trying to prevent Kamala from being killed in the future because she's the president of she's the first mutant president, and she gets killed in the future. So like he is building this team to save her, and that's basically where they're at right now. But I really like the fact that they have Helverine in there, which is funny because like Archangel, before he was Archangel, so when he was just Angel, he had teamed up with Wolverine, and then Cable has also, you know, crossed path with Wolverine. And it's funny how, like, in one of the scenes they were talking, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've worked with his dad, but this guy is like, it's crazy, you know, like he's kind of obnoxious." So like, it's fun to see how Dakin, being Wolverine's son, interacts with people that Wolverine has previously interacted with. So it's pretty cool to see that. And then I thought I did not, but Bomb Bomb, I love Bomb Bomb. Like, I have never seen Bomb Bomb until I grabbed this X-Force, this Inglorious X-Force, and it's been a minute since she's been used. So I don't know. I just found her hilarious, and I like her. She's pretty cool. But anyways, jumping to a different comic book, and one that I ended up buying another copy of because I liked #1, was none other than Man #2. So I ended up getting another copy of #1 the other day, which I'm gonna show you since I was in the shop and somebody had left their box and basically they weren't paying for it. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy this from their box. And I ended up getting a foiled version of Iron Man #1 because I had Iron Man #1, but it was the Cosmic Invasion. So if I was going to collect it, I needed to have my variant while still having my regular Iron Man run, you know? So this is part of the regular one. And then the cover A of with Madam Mask on the front will also be a part of that main run. So I like this cover because it's Iron Man, but then reflecting on the helmet, it's Madam Mask in front of him. So I really like this cover. It's pretty nice because you get them both in a seamless way that you can clearly see both at the same time. So I really like this cover. So far, issue #1 was good, better than the previous run altogether. Because like the previous run was kind of, I had a lot of issues with the Iron Man's previous run, mainly because continuity wise, I did not understand how he was in the West Coast Avengers, but then he was struggling with having his suit ready in his regular Iron Man run. Then he also had super long hair in Iron Man, but then when you read West Coast Avengers, he had short hair, and everything was happening in the same timeline. So I was like, how is this happening? Who is greenlighting all this stuff? So continuity wise, I hated that run. And then also it had a lot to do with Doom, but like at the end of the day, Doom succumbed to his own, you know, greediness because he accidentally killed Valeria, and he gave his life in exchange of Valeria. So like like all these issues and runs that they were talking about stopping Doom, nobody did anything. Like nobody did anything. Like even Red Hulk, the only thing that he did at the end of that run was just plant the US flag in Latveria and basically declaring that the US was going to get involved in Latveria, but then the US was like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing this. But other than that, none of the runs from One World Under Doom that said that they were going to deal with Doom actually dealt with Doom, which was kind of a disappointment and which kind of threw this previous Iron Man run like down the drain, for me at least. But yeah, Iron Man #2 right here. This is the David Nakayama cover. I think I mentioned it on the previous episode of Wednesday that I was going to get into the David Nakayama covers, and I got this one. There was another one today that was supposed to come out, and it was the Scarlet Witch one for Sorcerer Supreme, but unfortunately that cover specifically got there damaged, so the shop is working now on getting those replaced so they could give it to the 3 people that ordered it or whatever it was the case. Putting those away, another one that came out today and I was extremely excited is the Infernal Hulk #4. Guys, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Hulk in general. The previous run had 30 issues. It was the Incredible Hulk, and man, was it good. Was it good? I chewed through those 30 issues, caught up literally in like 3 or 4 nights. It was so good. I got to sit down and actually enjoy an Incredible Hulk series, and it was so odd because out of all the characters that I've read in my time collecting comics, the one character that I thought I would not like at all would be the Incredible Hulk. And it's so far one of the best experiences that I've had with comics, just reading about Bruce having this internal struggle with Hulk, because it's crazy what was happening on that particular run, where like they're not in good terms because of what happened to Betty, and you have Hulk side of the story, you have Bruce side of the story, and then you also have this kid who is running away from her abusive household, that it's going across the country with Bruce and Hulk, and she befriends Hulk. So Hulk ends up actually befriending her and trying to protect her. And you have all this stuff with Eldest, and it's just that last issue in particular where Eldest transforms into the Abomination, and Eldest rips out Bruce from Hulk, and you have 2 different entities, and like now Eldest merges with the Incredible Hulk, and you have this Infernal Hulk at the end of issue #30. It was just so good. Like the whole run, if you're gonna read a run of Incredible Hulk, try to read that one. It's so freaking good. But anyways, guys, we're not here to talk about the previous run. We're here to talk about Infernal Hulk, and it's really good. You're basically Bruce is trying to live his life. He's kind of gone into terms with losing Hulk. He's building his own life and all this stuff. And the Infernal Hulk, which would be, the one that's divided with Eldest and Hulk, it's just breaking mayhem everywhere. Even the Avengers came to see him, and they're like, dude, we got to do something. What are you doing? And he's just in his house chilling because he's like, I'm over this. I'm not going to do anything. Figure it out. So like this particular run has started pretty good. I'm very excited to see where it's going to go. But yeah, if you are reading Infernal Hulk, you're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. And if you're not reading Infernal Hulk, go read Incredible Hulk. Catch up, read those 30 issues, and then come to this one. Because if you liked Incredible Hulk, then you will definitely like Infernal Hulk. Anyways, another issue that came today at #1, like an issue #1, is Spider-Man Venom Death Spiral. So I haven't caught up on Spider-Man. I am 2 issues behind. So I haven't read and this is part 1 of 9. So if you see in the cover right here, it says part 1 of 9. So it's going to be a big event. So I'm very excited to see it. The art style inside, I just want you guys to see it. It's basically the same artist that was doing Carnage Eddie Brock. And I think I liked Carnage Eddie Brock for what it was, and definitely I enjoyed the issues of Carnage Eddie Brock. just seeing Eddie struggle with Carnage, because at the end of the day, Eddie was like, okay, I'm gonna. So Eddie's like, oh yeah, I'm not a killer, but if we're gonna kill people, because Carnage wants to kill people, that's how he survives. He's like, okay, if we're gonna kill people, we're gonna kill bad people. So we're looking for people like serial killers and stuff like that, and that is how it kind of slowly goes from there. And it was a pretty nice run. Interesting to see Eddie Brock as Carnage, and Carnage interacting with Eddie Brock. It was just a very interesting run. He's also now in the New Avengers, and now he is in the Death Spiral. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't have anything really to say about it. I'm going to read it, and probably whenever the next issue comes out, have a little bit more information for you guys. But this is something to check out. It's the new event, basically. So I think it would be worth checking it out. Continuing on, I also got Rogue #2. So it's still nothing crazy out of Rogue. So basically Rogue is getting this flashbacks of whenever she was in the Brotherhood of Mutants. She tried to save somebody, and she remembered something from her time in the Brotherhood of Mutant, but apparently she has kind of repressed those memories, so she doesn't remember it very well. So she goes after Mystique to kind of get some answers of that time that they were together in the Brotherhood, because she's seeing Sabretooth. She's seeing, I think it was Pyro also in there. So she's seeing a lot of stuff. She needs answers. She goes to Mystique. So this is basically sending her in this quest while the Uncanny X-Men events are also happening at the same time. Where does it fit? I am not 100% sure, because she is in both titles at the same time. But I am a fan of Rogue enough to be like, I don't care that this is kind of like sidetracking. So she can go on her little thing. I'll still read it just because I really like Rogue. So yeah, we'll see how this one specifically goes. This is issue #2. She's already with Mystique in here, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, her time. This is a flashback scene where she's in the Brotherhood with Mystique, so all that stuff is happening. Mystique, if you haven't caught up, Mystique, after her run in 2024, was it 2024? Basically the last Mystique run, at the end, she's now like old, she can't walk, so she's on a wheelchair like this. Something happened to her that she just, became that thing. So pretty nice, pretty good. We'll see how it goes. Again, I'm very biased with the X-Men, so anything X-Men related, I'll probably like it. Sorcerer Supreme #3 right here with Wanda. Basically she got the title of Sorcerer Supreme, but there's people that are opposed to her, and they're naming Agatha the Sorcerer Supreme. So basically they're both having this fight over who's gonna be what and all that stuff. And now Wanda had to get help from this guy that apparently, I forgot his name, but apparently he doesn't like her very much, and she doesn't like him very much either. So we'll see how that specifically goes. I think the whole Agatha thing resolved itself in that specific issue. You have the Goblin Queen also in this issue. So we'll see what happens. Basically, the thing with the Sorcerer Supreme run is that it's giving me this vibe of, hey, I am proving myself as the new Sorcerer Supreme, even though everybody doubts me. So that's basically what it is. One run that ends today, and I am kind of sad about it, to be honest, is the Spider-Man and Wolverine run. Very sad about this one. First of all, I would like to just thank Kari. Is that how you say it? Kari? Oh my God. Kari Andrews. He or she, because I don't know if it's a male or female, but this artist has done all these covers, and then he also did a few covers I think he did a Youngblood cover recently. But I love this art style and the artist, the way he draws, because it basically gives me an early 2000 vibes, and I just really like it. I've liked this run so far. This is basically where people basically you get to know that supposedly Wolverine killed Peter Parker's parents. That's basically the premise of the first 5 issues or so, is getting behind that and seeing what really happened. Then there was also there was a little arc where they were in a different universe, and that universe's superhero, there were no superheroes in that universes, and there was this merger between Spider-Man and Wolverine as a character, and its name was like is something Spider. I don't. Oh yeah, here it is. So this guy, it's a character that got introduced in this series, and pretty nice. It's basically a combination of Spider-Man and Wolverine. But anyways, I am super biased. This is also the poster right here of that run. So I am super biased towards Spider-Man and Wolverine. They're probably my favorite two characters growing up. So I love them. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully they'll bring it back at some point. Absolute Wonder Woman also came out today, number 17. I still haven't read the annual, so I gotta read that and see where this is going, because it's also Satana is also in here, and I haven't caught up, so we'll see how it goes. The one drawback about Absolute Wonder Woman that I have is the way they did the panels. I don't like the shape of the panels. I think it plays with my head too much, and I just don't like. I think it's cool, new, innovative. Is it necessary? No. You already have the squares. Why are you making like triangles and shit like that? It's really not, necessary at all. There's no reason why the panels have to be like this. You can just make a square panel. Keep it simple. I don't like the panels being like this. So if you see, yeah, the panels are not my cup of tea. The art is okay. It's like always. Definitely out of the absolutes, I wouldn't say this is my least favorite one's art, but definitely not my cup of tea. I like it, but it's not my cup of tea. And then oh my god, I just saw a spoiler. Oh my god. But anyways, the Absolute Wonder Woman, so far so good. Nothing less to expect from a really good series. They're rating it very well. I'm still surprised how well the Absolute Universe actually ended up working out. Very, very surprised by it. Another one that I bought was the Absolute Martian Manhunter. Very nice. Also, I'm gonna say this in the least rude way possible. Absolute Martian Manhunter sucks. Like, I am so sorry. If you like Absolute Martian Manhunter, it's just wow. Like, I don't like first of all, I don't like how the Martian looks. The Martian does not look anything like the Martian. And then when you're reading this thing, the way I can say this feels is like, the way I see it is like this looks like somebody who's like in drugs, like like shrooms, or like high as fuck, is just telling you a story through their eyes. Because look at, what did I do? Yeah, like there's like they're high. So look at this real quick. Look at this art. You see all of these colors? That's how it is most of the time. It's like a bunch of colors put together in a comic book just for the sake of making it look different. So you're seeing everything. By the way, this is meant to be Martian vision. I don't want to see anything through the Martian's eye, to be honest. It's whatever. The only thing that saves this comic book is that the actual story, it's not bad. Everything else just sucks. I don't like the art. I don't like the whole Martian vision thing, and I hate how the Martian looks. It looks like a fried egg. It looks like a pancake. I don't freaking like a green pancake. That's how it looks. I hate the way the Martian looks. So that is my take. Another one that I bought today, but I am kind of starting to not like that much, is Shredder. So I like the fact that the Turtles are expanding their universe into all these different titles. Like you have Casey Jones, Shredder. You also had Battle Nexus for a little bit. So I like the fact that they're expanding and they're able to tell stories within the same universe. But this specific story of Shredder, it's kind of hard to process because he's meant to be kind of like an anti-hero in this, and I don't see Shredder being an anti-hero. Like that, I think that's my main issue with this. Is like I don't see Shredder being an anti-hero. I think he's a really nice villain, and but knowing all the stuff that he's done in the past, it just doesn't sit right with me to think that he would be able to do some kind of good, even if it's like through shady stuff. I don't know if that makes sense. It's like imagine if they would make a I don't know, like a Megatron anti-hero. It's gonna be like I'm gonna save the, even though I don't like you, I'm gonna save the humans. It would be kind of weird because Megatron is like he just want to kill the humans. He doesn't care about the humans, and Shredder shouldn't care about what the FBI or whatever it is, the CIA, whatever agencies working with him, whatever they want. He just like the concept of having a criminal working with a government agency is cool, but I would not see Shredder doing that. I just wouldn't see Shredder doing, that type of stuff. So in that aspect of it, I'm like, well, it is what it is. Whatever. It's just not believable for me. But yeah, I think those are it for the new ones. I'm gonna show you a few variants though that I got, which was the Intergalactic Black Panther, because I got the Cosmic Invasion cover, and then same thing for the Mortal Thor. So jumping from that into this is another cover that I bought the same day that I bought the Iron Man one. It's a foil version of Ultimate Wolverine number 13. Pretty nice. I think it looks really dope. The Sentinel and just it's only the claws of Wolverine and the eyes that are shiny, so it's pretty nice. Another one that I got was this Rogue cover from X-Men of Apocalypse number 1. I like it. I'm just gonna put it probably in the wall. It's another one that of those that I'm like, yeah, it's worth putting in the wall. And during my time in the comic shop this week, I ended up getting this cool little poster of Scotty Young for Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is from May 4th, 2013. So this is from 2013. It looks pretty nice, pretty dope. Scotty Young, as always, making his little cartoonish characters. They look really nice. So let's see what else I have here. And then I did something super cool. So for those of you who don't know, I work in a fandom store or a store that basically sells a lot of fandom. You can make your assumptions or think whatever it is. But I like comic books and I enjoy the place that I work at, and I really like my coworkers. So it's like, hey, I talked to my manager and I was like, hey, I'm gonna bring some comics to keep them in the back so that when people are taking breaks and stuff, you can either take it and return it whenever you're done with it, or you can just read it in the break room. So I bought a few comics to leave at work, and it's basically Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's what the new Supergirl movie is based on, is in this comic book. So I bought it as a compact comic that I bought at my local comic book shop. It was only $10. So I bought that one. I also bought this Superman Batman one. I think I saw the movie. I think if I'm not mistaken, this is like the movie where like a Supergirl arrives on Earth and Darkseid, she fights. I think she fights or Superman fights Darkseid at the end. So this is a fun little comic to definitely read for people at work. And I also got Old Man Logan. Very, very excited to see how how this ends up going. I hope that they like it. But yeah, guys, that's it for Comic Book Wednesday. Now, I want to talk about something super cool that I just noticed. So, for anybody that doesn't know, we are in just a few weeks, I think, away from getting the Invincible season 4, correct? For season 4. So, and by the way, just in case there might be spoilers or something going on, so just be aware of that. But anyways, we have Invincible season 4 coming out, and I am curious as to know how much of the Invincible run they're going to cover, because if you look at it at compendiums, Invincible has 3 compendiums. And right now, where they left off is actually like half of compendium 2. So I am wondering whether or not they're going to go ahead and have this season be the rest of that compendium 2 plus the beginning of compendium 3, and whether or not they are going to add, and here's the spoilers alert, whether or not they're going to have the balls in wherever they need to have them, and add the fact that Mark gets raped essentially. And this is something funny because I mean, it's not funny, but like it's funny that I found out only a few days ago that this actually happens. And I was like, I wonder if they're gonna milk it down, or they're gonna get cold feet and be like, yeah, no, we're not gonna put this there, and we're gonna change it up. Because like Marky, like his kid, comes from this rape, So I wonder how they're gonna do this, because it wouldn't be the first time that I've seen a character that supposedly gets raped in the comic books, that they change it in real life. Because like Michonne, you guys have seen Walking Dead, gets raped by the governor. So when she decides to stay back, when the rest of the group is trying to escape the governor's city, whatever it is, the little town, that she stays, and it felt more deserved what she did to the governor back in the comics, in difference to what actually transpired in the show. I felt like they just didn't have it. They didn't have it to be like, hey, we're gonna do this in the show. It's like, we're not going to do this if people are not ready. We're going to get backlash, whatever it is. It's a white man raping a black woman. I'm assuming that's what it is. That's why they kind of milked it down in the Walking Dead show. But I just don't want this specifically to get watered down by the creators. It needs to happen for 2 reasons. First of all, the reason why it needs to happen, it's obviously storyline continuity. Second of all, it doesn't get talked enough. You do not see, or it's not believable that a man gets raped by a woman. Like, you do not see that enough. And seeing a superhero with superpowers like Invincible and how strong he is being overpowered by a woman and being raped, it's crazy. So I think that they should definitely leave that in there. And to say even more, I think that should be the season finale of this upcoming season. And if not, if they end up, stretching it enough to be like, hey, this is going to be in season 5, then finish the season with that. Because I feel that specific scene, it's disturbing, and he also deals with, his shame, regret, all this stuff that people deal with when you go through a traumatic event. And seeing somebody so powerful as Invincible go through that stuff, it's very eye-opening. You're gonna be like, what just happened? Like, what the hell just happened? I feel like that has to be the ending for this season. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. Another thing Invincible related is that on Friday, so this upcoming Friday, in 2 days, is everywhere, all the comic shops and all that stuff are going to get the Invincible card set. And I have got in my hands in 3 of the boxes, which are these, and so far it has been really cool. I think they might be overpriced because it's a booster pack, but every booster pack only has 4 cards, and I think it still costs like $4. So we'll see how that goes on Friday. I'm hoping that whatever releases on Friday is better than what this box has had. This was like $30 essentially each box. So, and it had eight packs in the box. So any relic. So it was kind of cool to see that. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about is that I didn't realize that Invincible is doing a fighting game in the Xbox and PlayStation 5, which releases also pretty soon. And I just saw a trailer for it and I was like, this is actually cool because they still delivered it the same way the show looks. So it's kind of like the same animation, but they also added a lot of blood. So it made it an M game for mature. So I am curious to see what type of brutality the game has, because Invincible is very brutal at the end of the day. So I would expect to have some crazy stuff happening, to say the least, in the video game. But we'll see how that goes. And basically, guys, that will wrap up today's episode of Finding the Middle. I talked about the comic books that came out today, some comic books that I bought during the week for my job. I talked about Invincible, Invincible cards, and the Invincible game that is soon to come out. Whatever your thoughts, let me know down below on the comments. Do not hesitate to write something down. Again, guys, I do appreciate when you guys comment. I do appreciate when you guys interact with the page. What I want you guys to do now is start following the page. I've seen a lot of people commenting on my post on TikTok and on Instagram. So now I just need you guys to follow the page to get more content like rolling. You know, I'm doing every day at least one post. So just continue. If you like my content, just follow the page to see what comes out next. But anyways, guys, same thing for TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, but like same thing for Spotify. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then same thing for YouTube. Follow the page, subscribe for the page, hit the notification so you can have alerts. I usually post on Wednesday and on Sunday, and usually the whatever I'm posting, it's gonna be up and available by 10 p.m. Pacific time. So, anyways, guys, that is it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed the episode, and as always, big hug from me. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your week, and see you guys on the next one, which we're gonna be talking about Pokemon and Digimon. So that'll be on Sunday. It's gonna be a cool episode. You cannot miss that episode, okay? Have a good one, guys. See you on the next one.